Hey everybody! Happy September. It is the 1st of September and I am here to do the September energy reading for you. So my name is Mandy and I'm one half of Soulstar Energy Collective, and each month we go in and we channel some insight and messages and just kind of feel into the energy of the month ahead. So I'm just here to share that with you. Before I do that, let's just quickly share that our Soulstar Intuitive course is open for registration. It will be closing for registration in about a week, because we'll be doing an orientation call with all of our students on Tuesday. So like this coming Tuesday. So if you're already registered, you can watch for that invitation. Same with our Akashic Records course. That is also open for registration and will be closing around the same time, and we'll be doing an orientation call on Wednesday with our students. So again, for our students who are already registered, just watch out for that invitation. If you can't make it, no big deal. There is an introduction video that you can watch. And Soulstar Intuitive is our course meant for everybody, anybody who is ready to kind of just take their development to the next level. So somebody who is, you know, really watching from afar and is ready to just be like, you know what, I really want to step into this ability and develop my skill to connect with my spirit guides and my intuition on an intentional basis. So that is what you'll learn how to do in Soulstar Intuitive. It is a 12-week course where we provide pre-recorded lessons, and then we sit with you in practice session to work with you in person and with your class and your what are those called? Your peers, like you're the other students in the class. So we'll all work together in a class situation over Zoom, and same with the Akashic Records. However, it is more beneficial for you to join the Akashic Records if you've already taken Soulstar Intuitive, because we're really attuning your energy through that course to the higher frequencies that you need to access in order to really get the most out of the Akashic Record course. So if you're already a working medium, intuitive, healer, somebody who's already working with energy or spirit intentionally, then you can probably just step right into the Akashic Records course. But if you are not yet there, then definitely start at Soulstar Intuitive, because you'll develop those skills and raise your frequency to the point what you need in order to be super successful in the Records course. All of our information is on our website, so go check that out, soulstarenergycollective.com. And if you have any questions, please reach out. We are excited to hold space for all of those souls that are aligned to join us in this cohort. And yeah, okay, so let's get into it. September messages. So when I channeled the energy for September, I was actually joined by like a legion of angels, which has never really happened to me before, but they're all the archangels. So I had Archangel Uriel, Gabriel, Azrael, Raphael, Michael, and Metatron join me. And it was such a beautiful energy to be in. They really felt like they just wanted to share that there's so much support for us who are moving through the changes on the planet right now. They just wanted to share that they're with us and they're supporting us, and they're just like, they're helping guide us move through this transition, because it can feel really uncomfortable and messy and confusing. So they really just wanted me to share that they're with us, they're with all of us, and there's such a outpour of energy onto this planet, like love and light, as we transition through the changes that we're moving through. So I have pre-channeled this, so I'm just going to share my notes. The month of September feels like it's a pivotal month for the collective. So it really felt like the energy for September is divided into two chunks. So the first half and then the second half, but really around like the end of the third week. So it's almost like 3 weeks, and then the last week is kind of how it felt for me. So the first half will feel similar to like how we've been feeling the last bit of August, or maybe all of August if you're like me. The energies are coming onto the planet so quickly, and like I said, it can make a lot of us feel super uncomfortable and uncertain. However, they wanted me to remind you, or to share if you're not aware, that the point of this, the energy, it feels like they're just like shaking our foundation a little bit to get us to like really question things that are not serving us in our reality any longer. It's really bringing up like old stories and patterns, or even like stories and patterns that they want us to kind of release or heal or look at. So I just see them shaking the ground to make us feel uncomfortable on purpose so that we can do some of the healing that we need to do in order to continue to ascend and to progress. So there's a lot of activating and upgrading within this energy going on. It's important for us to move through this, as uncomfortable and hard as it is. Again, releasing and shedding old patterns, ways of behaving, and habits. So I wrote, and for the group of souls destined to awaken during this time, it may feel sudden. So a lot of us are, like, if you're watching this video, it's most likely because you are kind of already on this path and asking the questions and trying to really just like sort out what makes sense for you in your reality, in your awakening, and your perspective is growing. But there's a whole pile of souls on this planet who haven't started that journey yet. So this time is pivotal for them in the point as like of they're going to start to ask those questions. They're going to start seeking answers, and they're going to start looking at things in a different way, from a different perspective. So it's important for us who have already done a lot of this work to be able to hold space for them through love and through compassion, and just remembering that they're not where you're at. Everybody's on their own journey and on their own timeline, and they are just destined to do their work now, whereas we were destined to do it before, likely because we contracted to help them move through this transition. So this might show up in the form of like family or friends triggering, being triggered or triggering you with regard to conversations around like what's going on in the world, some of the big events that are happening, and they're just trying to hold on to their old stories. So you have to remember to come from, or if you could try to come from more of a more compassionate sense, and just allow them to move through that energy, because they need to move through that in order to release it. So things will come into their awareness quickly, and they will seek answers because they're also uncomfortable, but they're not really understanding why they're uncomfortable. So things are going to come into their awareness quickly, and they're just not really going to understand what's happening. So we need to be able to hold space for them and to have compassion and help them through that. What else did I write? Patience and compassion. They're just beginning to feel the awareness. So it may feel messy and uncomfortable for them, but in a different way than it is for us. Like for us, we have the awareness of what's going on, or for those that have already kind of started the healing journey, we have that awareness that what's happening, okay, activations, upgrades, releasing, healing. For them, it's just like uncomfortable and scary. So we can be helpful there. Okay, so the angels showed me that the planet's being flooded with light. Like I saw the planet, and then I just saw all these beautiful light beams just like coming down onto our planet. And we're supported not only just by the angels, but also by our galactic friends and ascended masters and our guides and our loved ones. Like there's so many beings of light that are here supporting us through this time. But they're also here to witness this huge shift that our planet is trying to make. So when we are in a higher vibration, we are helping the planet make that shift. So when we are feeling in that low vibration, just try to come back to that space and remember, try to move through it. So we don't want to stay stuck in that low vibration. We need to release and move through what it is that we're being called to do, so we can come back to that high vibration, so that the planet can ascend as it's meant to. Because the more people in a higher vibration, the easier the transition will be. So they also showed me that it sort of feels like a pressure cooker, and I was seeing like an Instapot, and it's just like all of this pressure that we're under, in the sense of like this energy. It's just like crowding us, and it's just really uncomfortable. So it feels like the back half of September. So that's the first half of September, where it's going to be, again, similar to the energy of August, where it's just a lot of pressure, a lot of healing, a lot of reviewing and thinking, and even grieving our old selves. But the other half of September, it feels like the pressure releases. So they just showed me the Instapot, and I don't have one, but I've seen videos. But when you release the pressure, all the steam comes out. So that's what they were showing me on the back half of September. It will feel quick, like that energy is going to feel quick and fast. And so try to experience that release of energy, that shift, because it feels like it's going to be a really like a really quick shift. So try to feel that or experience that release from the vibration of love. And they want to remind us to come back to our heart space and to maybe just like if we can just breathe from our heart, and that just means focusing on your heart while you're breathing in and out. So when you're feeling super uncomfortable or you have a bit of anxiety, if you just focus on breathing from your heart space, that will really help calm that energy and that anxiety down. Coming back to yourself, so meditation, doing the practices that you know you should be doing or you have been doing, so breathing, breath work, getting in nature, moving your body, movement, embodiment, somatic healing, like whatever you have been practicing or doing or even feeling called to do is what you could do to help you move through this quick shift of energy that is coming in September or the end of September. So once this shift happens, it feels very much like you'll have like a fresh perspective, and you may want to move forward in your life differently than you have been. So differently for some. Okay, and some of us are already beginning to feel that shift or getting insight and messages into what that is. So they're showing me like a new way is upon us. I wrote to receive the messages that a new way is upon us, and you're feeling called to make these changes now, or that these changes are coming. So what that means is there's like this new way of living coming. Like we're going to feel called to move through our life in a different way. And in a more aligned way. So how this might show up, so for how it's showing up for me and for Allison, for example, would be we're both being really called to really clear our channels, clear our vessels with clean eating, and just really changing the food that we put in our body, high vibrational food, nutritious food, and just, making that transition. We've been getting that message for a while, but it feels like in September, at the end of September, that's going to be something that we want to do. We need to do. It's not going to be like, I should do that, or I'm being called to do it. It's like, okay, now I'm doing it. I also I had an experience with like my Visa card, for example, and the way that we do our banking is we put, almost everything on our Visa to collect the points so that we could travel, all that sort of stuff, our day to day. But I had an experience this past week where our Visa was compromised, so it was shut down. And so I didn't have access to our Visa. And then I had all these merchants trying to connect with us about like the payments that were coming out that couldn't come out because it was blocked, and all of these things were going on. And it was so frustrating because I couldn't get through to the fraud department, on hold for probably over 8 hours, like over the course of 3 days, and still no resolution. So I was really getting the message that I need to shift the way that I've been doing our banking, or that we've been doing our banking, away from relying on a credit card and doing it back to the basics, like even just cash, or having cash in our wallet, and being just really mindful of what we're spending and how we're spending, and not relying on the bank so much. So that is a message that I received this past week, and it feels very pivotal and important for me to move forward with, moving forward through September. I know there was a third point, but so it's growing my own food. So I've been feeling so called to like create, like I have a garden, and we've done vegetables the last 2 years, but I'm getting this really strong pull to build a bigger garden and to get a greenhouse so that we can grow food into the winter, and all these things. So if you're receiving these things already, or these messages, or these feelings and these wants to be like, oh, I feel like I really want to learn how to garden, or I really want to ditch the car and ride my bike, or I really want to, just do something different. These are the messages that you're already receiving, and it feels like they're going to come online more so and become stronger at the end of September. So that's how that shift might happen. And it might be more of a mindset shift where you're like, oh, okay, now I'm going to make this change, or I'm going to live this way. So it's just creating a new way of living, or really coming into this space of just checking on like what it is in your life that you're not aligned with anymore, and how you want to move through your day differently moving forward. So that kind of is what I was feeling for September. Let me just make sure there's no other messages. Okay, yeah. So just the final message, I already said it, but mid-September the shift happens. And again, it's a subtle shift. So it's not like like this huge energy is going to come in and we're going to feel it and we're going to know that's exactly what it is. Everything with energy is just so subtle. And if you don't pay attention, you miss it. So the way that will show up is just a mindset shift. Things that you want to have been wanting to change are going to change. And that's when you feel really like more motivated to make those changes. So follow those intuitive nudges. Those shoulds will turn into needs or wants. And that's I think a beautiful space to be in. I look forward to being able to move from I have no time to figure this out into like, I'm creating the time to figure this out. And this is how I'm going to live my life moving forward. So yeah, that is September for you. I hope that you resonated with that or that you enjoyed that message. If you guys have any questions about our courses, about connecting with us for readings or healings or any of that sort of stuff, if you want to work with us, please reach out anytime. We're super open to conversation, and we love connecting with the community, and we hope that you found this helpful, and have a great month.